Previously, on Keeping Up with the Kenya Kwanza government.
Among them, the Honorable Mark Mwenje and another young man, Mark Mwenje's driver. They say they have recorded a statement. They have also recorded a statement from the gentleman who was with my son in his car.
That sometimes revolutions eat their own children.
Yes. Yeah.
Government eats their own people.
This country has reached a stage, if this nonsense doesn't stop, Ayub, they'll come for you here next. After that, they'll come for me. After they finish with me, they'll go to Mui. Finally, they'll come to you. Because what they want you to do, you will not agree.
The writings are on the wall. Mene tekel parsin. And Kenya Kwanza is cracking at the seams, a chaotic labyrinth of power plays and paranoia.
But then you cannot tell me there's abductions and marked vehicles. I will know the update when these 6 people who have been found now report so that they say where they were.
As government officials work overtime to dismiss abduction claims as fabricated tales, the truth seeps through the cracks like water through a dam on the brink of collapse. All thanks to Cabinet Secretary Muturi, the reluctant whistleblower whose revelations sent tremors through the corridors of power.
Several requests. I was unable to trace my son, and I made demands to all the levels of the security apparatus of the country. Now, more than 6 months later, after that ordeal and the release of my son by unknown forces, he has not been charged with any offense, and the government at all levels has not been able to give me any explanation or reasons as to his abduction by hooded armed gangsters.
His words land like thunder. The abductions are real, and the puppeteer might just be the president himself, with the National Intelligence Service pulling the strings in the shadows. Muturi's harrowing account reads like a political thriller but stings with the bite of reality. It is a tale of betrayal, fear, and the dark underbelly of a government unraveling from within.
Anything about the abductions, because that amounts to shunning its responsibility on accountability. That is why I took the issue with a statement made by the Inspector General of Police that he did not know where the abductees are. In my view, the government cannot be excused for abdicating its duty of protecting the lives and property of the people of Kenya.
For those who believed proximity to power offered safety, Muturi's revelations are a chilling wake-up call. The closer you are to the president, the sharper the teeth of his guard dogs. Muturi's revelations didn't come from a podium or a press conference. They came from a police station where he arrived not as a cabinet secretary, but as a father searching for answers after his own son was abducted. The irony is chilling. The same government apparatus Muturi serves is now at the center of his son's ordeal. And the CS didn't mince words. He described a shadowy abduction squad operating under the president's command, a clandestine force that thrives on secrecy and silence, armed to the teeth and utterly untouchable. It began on the fateful evening of June 22, 2024. Muturi, still reeling from the shock, recounted the frantic call from his daughter-in-law, Wairimu. Her voice trembled as she relayed how armed, hooded men had ambushed Leslie Muturi, forcing him into a white Toyota Prado on Olenguruoni Avenue. I received a call from Wairimu, the wife of my son Leslie Muturi. She told me that she had been informed by Honorable Mark Mwenje that Leslie had been abducted a few minutes ago by armed, hooded gangsters. They had just passed the roundabout on Dennis Pritt Road and turned onto the Olenguruoni Avenue when the incident occurred. Panic set in as calls to Leslie went unanswered. His phone was dead, silent as the grave. Desperate, Muturi dialed every high-ranking contact he had, from Inspector General Japhet Koome, Interior PS Raymond Omolo, and DCI Mohammed Amin. The assurances rang hollow as hours dragged on with no signs of Leslie. I called the Inspector General of Police, Japheth Koome, explained the situation, and he promised to circulate the information among various police stations and call me back. I then called Raymond Omolo, the PES for Interior, and explained the abduction. He assured me that he would take actions. I also attempted to reach the Directorate Criminal Investigation DCI, Mr. Mohammed Amin, but his phone went unanswered. I tried calling the National Intelligence Service NIS Director General Noordin Haji, but he did not answer either, Muturi recounted. The breakthrough came courtesy of CCTV footage from Citizen TV, obtained with the help of Honorable Ndungu Gethenji. The chilling images revealed the white Prado trailing Leslie's car, accompanied by another vehicle. Moments before the ambush, armed men in hoods wielding AK-47s swarmed the scene, dragging Leslie into the Prado before vanishing into the night. By dawn, Muturi was a man on a mission. He fired off a WhatsApp message to President William Ruto and reached out to Said Kiprotich Mohammed of the Anti-Terrorism Protection Unit, ATPU. Their response? Deafening silence. Even when Kiprotich finally returned his call, he denied any ATPU involvement. Yet, as whispers from within NIS began to filter through, a more sinister picture emerged. A source from NIS dropped the bombshell. Leslie was being held by the operatives. Muturi's disbelief quickly turned into determination. He confronted Interior CS Professor Kithure Kindiki at that time, who, despite assurances from NIS Director General Noordin Haji, insisted the agency had no involvement. A friend from NIS called, informing me that my son was being held by their people. 15 minutes later, Professor Kithure Kindiki called back, saying he had spoken with the Director General of NIS, who denied holding Leslie. Despite my insistence that I had confirmed information from a NIS officer, Professor Kindiki maintained that the DG could not be lying. With options running out, Muturi drove straight to the Lion's Den, State House. There, he laid the matter bare before President Ruto. The president's response? A direct call to Noordin Haji, who finally admitted Leslie was in their hands. An hour later, Leslie was released, shaken but alive. I heard the president ask Noordin Haji if he was holding my son. Noordin confirmed that indeed he was holding my son, and the president instructed him to release Leslie immediately. Noordin responded that Leslie will be released within an hour. Muturi's revelations are more than just a personal plea for justice. They are a damning indictment of a government at war with itself. His willingness to implicate his boss, the president, in such a scandal speaks volumes. The message is clear. The cracks in the Kenya Kwanza coalitions are no longer cracks. They are chasms.
That sometimes revolutions eat their own children.
Yes. Yeah.
Government eats their own people. This government is going to punish you more than they will punish me. I'm telling you.
This brings us to a haunting prophecy by Senator James Orengo. Government eats their own people.
The cardinal duty of the state and the government is to protect the lives and livelihood of its citizens, and cannot claim to be unaware of such serious breaches of the rights of Kenyans to live free from wrongful confinement and the violation of their inalienable right to life.
Muturi's warning is a chilling echo of this statement by James Orengo. If a cabinet secretary's son isn't safe, what hope do ordinary Kenyans have?
Since President Ruto took reins of office, of power, there is no single citizen who has been killed by police, or there has never been a policy of killing people the way we used to see bodies in River Yala and some others in River Tana and others in national parks.
The likes of both Sholei and Ichung'wa and any other government officials those basking in the glow of their proximity to power should take heed.
And like I said, I will know the update when these 6 people who have been found now report, so that they say where they were. But then you cannot tell me there's abductions and marked vehicles. You see, those are your... that is your... No, I'm just saying that's your knowledge. Yeah. I want to see the statements.
Public knowledge as well.
No, that is what is being said in the public. But what I want to know is from these 6 people, where they were, they'll tell us whether it was unmarked vehicles, who picked them up, and so on. Then I can comment on it. But you can't tell me to speculate on something. Surely, I think it's unfair.
In a government that devours its own, loyalty and ranks are no shield against its ravenous appetite.
Interest, because this country is larger than any of us. This country has reached a stage, if this nonsense doesn't stop, Ayub, they'll come for you here next. After that, they'll come for me. After they finish with me, they'll go to Mui. Finally, they'll come to you. Because what they want you to do, you will not agree. So what we are saying, let us just save this country. Forget about the shenanigans. You are in government, we are not in. I have said severally, Ayub, I don't hate President Ruto. I want him to succeed. I respect him. He's my president. The guy is so bright. Why is it difficult to run this country?
You know, Ayub, what's happening? He's playing to the gallery.
When we are talking about the people who are on this page, the people you work with are the ones who show who your friends are, and they're the ones who tell Kenyans what your government is.
Yes, Honorable J. Kerry.
Brilliant. We have a great